Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. So with yesterday being my 3-year wedding anniversary, I started to remember a lot of little projects that I had done over the course of about 3 months preparing for my wedding. I'm super excited because I thought that I would take some time and talk about some of the DIY projects that I did in preparation for my wedding. It was a very thrifty wedding. The budget was basically non-existent. We weren't planning on having a crazy fabulous wedding. We got married so young that we just did not have the funds to really pay for an extravagant wedding. I liked the idea that I put a lot of personal small details into parts of my wedding that I will remember forever, and I hope that others will remember as well. So anyways, if you are looking for a few budget-friendly ideas for your wedding, some ways to do DIY projects, get the hands-on feel, and maybe you just don't have enough money to pay for someone else to make your centerpieces, then this is the video for you, so just keep watching. When it comes to the guest book, I was on Pinterest and I was looking at all these fun ideas of a guest book, and I loved the idea of a thumbprint guest book where or like to finish a painting, and I saw tons and tons of ideas for a tree, a silhouette of a tree that is painted, and people add the leaves to them with their thumbprints. So when I went to look and order a template so that I could have this type of guest book, I noticed that for a silhouette of a tree on a piece of canvas or a piece of paper cost me about $50 for something that I liked, that was my style. And I definitely didn't want a traditional guest book, and I knew I wanted something special that I could keep with me forever. A guest book would be closed and probably get put away somewhere, whereas a painting or an art piece would last forever. So when I saw that a painting of a tree on a canvas was going to cost me so much money, I knew that I could do it myself. I felt confident enough in my painting artwork skills that I knew that I could do that. Here is my guest book right here, and I will show you a close-up shot of it. It's this piece right behind me, and all I did was buy a canvas. I decided to paint mine brown instead of black because I really love like natural earthy tones, and my wedding had a lot of natural earthy tones. So I just used brown paint and like a bit of white mixed in, and I just drew a tree onto a blank canvas, and I etched in just a J and a D for our initials. When you first walked into our reception, our front table had the seating chart on it, and right alongside it was this blank painting and a bunch of these little dewdrops, they're called, and they are fast drying chalk ink for a soft matte look. And I picked like earthy tones that would look like leaves on a tree. And I had these out right alongside the canvas, and the DJ was announcing for everyone who was coming in looking for their seat to please take a moment and make a thumbprint and then sign your name. And there was a pen that could write on canvas right alongside it, and this has been one of my favorite pieces. I automatically knew that I was going to go with fake flowers. I don't really know why. I think when I was younger I would always do fake flower arrangements, and it's something that I enjoy. I made my maid of honors bouquet, and I just used white roses, and then wisteria, like a soft purple, was the color of her dress, so I picked one of those purple flowers and put that in the center of her bouquet, wrapped it with some gardening tape, and called it a day. I purchased her flowers at Michael's craft store, and for my flower girl I knew she would be a little bit rougher on her bouquet. I actually just used Dollar Tree flowers for it. I just used white flowers, and then I threw in a little bit of purple as well. And because she's smaller, I did wrap it with gardening tape, and then I wrapped some tulle around it. So for my bouquet, my mother actually made my bouquet, but I was able to pick out what I wanted inside of it. Along with the flowers was the Ringbearer's pillow. I didn't want to go traditional style with him and give him a pillow, so I actually got a little briefcase. It was just like a wooden lockbox that had a handle on it, and I got that from Hobby Lobby, I believe, and I had stained it, and inside I actually put little presents for him as kind of an incentive to be good and walk down the aisle properly. So another project I took on was my card box. This I actually keep, and I keep all of my cards in it still to this day. My card box I got at Michael's along with the Ringbearer box. The first thing I did was stain both boxes. That was all I did for the Ringbearer, and I just filled it with goodies for him. For the card box, I hot glued a piece of wire to go across the top, and I made a little cutout banner just out of some paper, and I used a purple marker, and I just wrote cards out and strung that along. And then I put some of the rose petals, the same petals that the flower girl was using, I put some of those in the box along with some lights. And along with our cards, the other thing that is in this cute little lock box that is like a keepsake for me are our table numbers. I got this idea off of Pinterest for our table numbers. I created little books and left it on top of every table, and obviously it has the table number on it so people knew where to sit. Along with the table number, which is what you see in like the bold lettering, and they were brown and purple, and they were kind of staggered. Along with the table number, it says, leave a message for Danielle and Jean to read on there. This is table number 1, so on their first wedding anniversary. And whichever table you were sat at, that's what book you would write in and leave a message for us to read on our anniversary. And this is a tradition that will go on for 19 years because we had 19 tables. All I did was take some construction paper. I'm pretty sure I got the set of construction paper at the Dollar Tree. There is a piece of twine rope, which I also purchased for $1 at Dollar Tree. There are full-length pieces of paper in here that I folded in half and staple anything. It's nothing fancy. Obviously, it could be easily taken apart, but these won't be like rough handled at all, and they're just such a special keepsake. Also, I want to mention for my card box, to keep it open and propped the way that I wanted, I hot glued fabric to the ends of the box so that it was able to stay upright, the top was, so that the cards banner could be shown. Another DIY project I had done was my Flower Girls basket. I was looking on Etsy at these beautiful handmade Flower Girl baskets that I loved, but did not love the price tag. Some of them ranged anywhere from $30 to $50 for these really cute baskets, and I knew I just wasn't going to be able to afford them, so I needed to come up with my own cute basket. And I actually found my Flower Girls basket at a tag sale, just a small plain little basket that was brown. And what I decided to do was I had hot glued tulle in like a ribbon style around the edge of it. So I hot glued the bolts of tulle around the side as well as around the handle, and then I took the same kind of string that I used here, which is like this like frayed kind of twine kind of stuff. I made a pretty bow out of that. Like I think I double or tripled it up, and I made a bow, and I hot glued that right on the center of the basket down towards the bottom where I had put the tulle. Another DIY project that I had done was the party favors for everyone. I purchased these mason jars, and they did not have the black strip on them to put your name. They were just plain mason jars. I believe I got them from a restaurant supplier website, and some of them were broken, I will say, when I purchased them, but I had bought extra just in case that were the case. So then I bought a small container of chalkboard paint. Now that I look back, I think it was a terrible experience for me doing this. So I think if I were to go back, I would have just got chalkboard stickers, although I don't know if those would have lasted as long because it's 3 years later and this still has the chalkboard paint on it. So at first I had a stencil, and I had stenciled out where I was going to put the paint, and that was such a long, grueling process. So looking back, I would definitely pick an alternative, or maybe get a group of girls together. If you have a larger bridal party and everybody does 25 or 50 mugs, it would definitely make your life a lot easier. Or you can buy them with this adhered already, but this was definitely the cheaper option for me. So like I said, I bought the paint, and I took a brush and I just painted a strip on every single one of these and let it dry. So at your table you had your glass, and you also had your name on it. Another DIY project was my cake topper. I was looking on Etsy and Amazon and eBay for all different kinds of cake toppers. I ended up doing cupcakes instead of a cake. I just couldn't find anything that really spoke to me or spoke to my theme, so I ended up with the idea of doing 2 lovebirds in a nest. And this is when the drama happens of doing DIY projects and ordering things online. When my nest came in, I had already ordered the birds. They came in a pack of 6. Okay, so here's the size of one small little lovebird, and just picture 2 of these. I kind of wanted them kissing, and so I ordered a pack of 6 of these. I picked which 2 looked the best together, and then I ordered a small nest on Amazon to place my birds in. And when my nest came in, it was so small that only one bird could fit inside the nest. There was no way that both the birds were going to fit inside. So we ended up having to rearrange. I had to pick different birds from the other ones that I had chosen. And so I was able to put one bird in the nest, and then the other bird is kind of perched on the branch of the nest, and that is the way that it went. And then I had a few other sets of lovebirds that were displayed in different areas of the reception as well. A hashtag that we used specifically for our wedding, it was hashtag the Ramelli wedding. And so I believe I found the template on Pinterest as well, and I just printed it out on a regular piece of paper, and it said, if you have Instagram, any pictures you take tonight, be sure to use the hashtag the Ramelli wedding. I just put that in a photo frame and had that up on the front table, along with a picture of Jean and I. Actually, it was one of our senior pictures that were up there. Using a hashtag I would definitely recommend, because I was so happy that later on our way to our honeymoon, we drove. It was like a road trip. So I was able to see what people had posted, and I actually liked a ton of people's pictures, and I ended up saving them for myself. And it was a really easy way just to find pictures from our wedding that our friends had taken. I hope that in some way this video helps you, and maybe you are able to get your creative juices flowing and think of something that you want at your wedding, or you're able to take some of my ideas and use them towards your wedding. Weddings are such a fun time, and I get super excited whenever I hear about somebody planning a wedding. So thank you so much for watching this video. Like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!